lion mascot. Our school has a mascot of a lion. I might like this one, but it's got two images and I don't want to have to play with it. So I'm going to keep looking for a little bit. I don't like anything on that page. Let's see what we have here. This one's not bad, but I don't like the color. Ah, this is the one. So I like this one. I select it, see full-size image. There's my image. I right-click the image, save picture as. Again, I'm going to save it to my desktop. You probably will save it to your flash drive. I'll rename this Lion Logo 6. Save it. Get rid of this. I'm not going to need it anymore. Here's my Lion Logo 6 down here. I'll bring it up so you can see it better. Double click on it to open it. Now notice that it's facing to the right. The lion is facing to the right. That's going to draw people's eyes off the page if I use it on the cover. So what I want to do is I want to flip this image. I want to turn the lion so it's facing in the other direction. You often have pictures that look very good, but the person is looking in the wrong direction. We can flip pictures very easily. I went up to Edit Pictures, Rotate and Flip, Flip, Horizontal. Boom, the lion is facing in the other direction. So now we save this, and it has been saved with the lion facing left. I close this, bring my work page back so that it's visible, click in the remaining cell, insert picture. I'm in my desktop area. I go down to Lion Logo 6. There it is. Double click it. Ooh, it's very big. But we can just grab the corner handle and size it down. And there we go. I'll make it a little bit smaller. And see, it's up at the top. That's no problem. We'll just take the Layout tab and we'll select the middle one. And there we have it centered vertically and horizontally in the cell. I noticed that for some reason my blue color disappeared in this cell, so I'm just going to reinsert it, shading, apply it to the cell, light blue. Let's take this light blue. There we go. Okay, oh, it disappeared up here too. I wonder why that all happened. No problem. Apply it to the cell. Color, that was the light yellow. There it is. Okay, so we have all our colors back. Now we're just going to fancy this up a little bit more. I'm going to put a light gray in this cell just to kind of balance the page a little bit. Right click it, borders and shading, apply it to the cell, and select the lightest gray possible. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good now. But I want to take out some borders and add a little bit more fancy stuff. So in this top cell, I want to take out the bottom border so that the cells are not quite so rigidly divided from each other. I go to Borders and Shading. I go to Borders. I go to the cell. This is not going to apply to anything but the cell. And the default setting is the border that's currently there. I'm just going to remove the bottom border. See, there's no border there anymore. We have borders on 3 sides. I could remove them all, but actually I want them there. And I have the 3 borders visible and no border between the name of the school and the picture of the school. I'm going to go down. I'm going to skip the picture of the school, go into the We've Only Just Begun cell, and do the same thing, except in this case I'm going to remove both the top border and the bottom border. So now there are no horizontal borders between any of these horizontal cells. Just have to get rid now of this one vertical border. So I select the one cell that one of the cells that it applies to. I could have selected the lion also, but I picked this one. And I just remove it from the spot where it exists. And I forgot to take away the one on top. So I do it again, applying to the cell, and I just remove the top border and the vertical border again. And now there's only the colors dividing the cells, and this area looks a little more unified. And this is nice, neat graphic separation between the name of the ceremony and all this stuff that explains it over on the right. The last thing I want to do is put a fancy border around the whole image. So I select the top two cells and right click in the top cell, borders and shading, make sure that box is selected, and I'm going to select a fancy border. I like this one. I have different sizes of this border that I can choose. 2.5 points looks a little crowded. I think this 3 point, or 2.25 points that was, I think this 3 point looks pretty nice. So I make sure it applies to the entire table this time. I click OK, and I get this nice little fancy border around the whole thing. But when I did that, notice that the vertical border between the vertical cell and these other cells disappeared. So I have to put that back in. To reinsert the border, the thin line border, I'm going to select the cells on the right, right click in one of them, borders and shading, and I want to insert a thin line right here. So I go up to the thin line, select it, put it in, apply it to the cell, and there it reappears. Click outside of everything, and for me, I'm finished. I've got a nice cover for my graduation program. I can save it as a Word document. Probably it's more practical to save it as a PDF, and then everything will be all together and you'll be able to paste it into another document.